What is up, everybody? I am your current W and longest reigning WWE pay-per-view champion, the hot commodity Ant C. And I'm joined by my good friend and co-host. Introduce yourself, my friend.
My name is Christian Morales, co-host of the Uncensored Wrestling Pod. I'm very excited here. We just talked about, the Royal Rumble recap, so we got to talk about what happens next, right? So let's talk about Monday Night Raw.
2 nights removed from the Royal Rumble, Raw is live January 30th in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And Raw, of course, starts off with the 2023 Men's Royal Rumble winner, Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare himself. And Cody says, I thought to myself I was going to be WWE champion and be the next John Cena when I was 19. I would tell myself triumph became tragedy. I would tell myself I would be the first in its family to main event WrestleMania. And it's true. He will be. Truth be told, I wouldn't tell that 19-year-old a single thing. Every splinter up this ladder has been worth it. Wrestling has more than one royal family, and WWE has more than one family in here. For that to be true, I have to stand across from the bloodline, across from the biggest superstar on the planet. I have to stand across Roman Reigns. I have a great deal of respect for Roman. WrestleMania is 62 days away, and at WrestleMania, undesirable becomes undeniable. And after WrestleMania, you can be the tribal chief, but one thing Roman will not be is undisputed champion. And then the Judgment Day come out, and Finn says, "Are you going to do anything original or continue to copy everything off of me?" Dominic says, "You ruined our plans last night. You ruined my moment in the Royal Rumble match. If we were in prison, you wouldn't last the day." Damian Priest says, "Rhea earned her spot at the Royal Rumble. She got the number one spot while the Golden Boy got number 30. Dominic says, "You owe me an apology." Cody says, "Dominic, I have to ask, are you trying to scare me straight?" He says, "I have immense respect for your dad." And then Dominic goes on to say, "I have no respect for my dad or even your dad," which, is a big, no, right? Cody goes on to say, "I'll beat your ass anywhere." And Finn Balor pretty much challenges Cody. And basically, Edge comes down and attacks the Judgment Day, and Cody helps Edge attack Judgment Day. And what do you think about Finn Balor and all these guys interrupting Cody Rhodes? We know Cody is going to take on Roman. I like the idea of family versus family, the Rhodes family versus the bloodline here. And what do you think about Judgment Day getting involved in this situation? Edge is obviously on the hunt, but what do you think about this opening Raw?
You gotta start Raw with your Royal Rumble winner, so that was good. This is another basic good promo. Crowd likes him. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw. Surprised to see the Judgment Day out here. I think everything Damian Priest said was absolutely true and funny. The fans started chanting "kick his ass." So that was good. Just one thing, Cody did mention the undisputed title rather than just getting one or two or one or the other. So as of right now, both titles are staying together, but like I mentioned in the Royal Rumble recap, I'd like to see these titles split. But for now, good promo. Excited to see how they're gonna build this matchup here.
Yeah, I was excited to see this because this is Cody's first, night, his first match back on Raw, and having a point like Finn Balor, that's great to start off your night. But we start off Raw. This episode of Raw has the first Elimination Chamber qualifying matches, and we have Chad Gable with Otis taking on Seth Rollins. There are some notes. Chad nails a German or Seth and gets a 2 count. Chad dives onto Seth off the apron and nails a flying headbutt and gets a 2. Chad nails a dragon screw leg sweep and misses a moonsault. Seth hits a buckle bomb. Seth nails a super kick and a falcon arrow and gets a 2. Chad nails a really cool cliffhanger DDT and gets a 2 count. The end comes after Seth misses a stomp, but nails a pedigree. And Seth Rollins is now going to be in the WWE United States Championship Elimination Chamber match with Austin Theory being in there. What do you think of this match? And obviously, Seth Rollins is the right person to go with, right?
Oh, obviously. I don't know if he's gonna, win it all, but I thought it was a good match. I'm gonna say this for like the fifth week in a row. They're continuing to give Chad Gable singles matches, like, and then losing, but he always puts on a good match every time, and I'm tired of fucking saying it. I like Chad Gable. Chad Gable should be in this Elimination Chamber. I'm not saying he should win it, but he should be in it. Um, but obviously Seth Rollins is the man to go here. It was just a good match. Two of the best workers on Raw. Yes, I'm calling Chad Gable one of the best workers
He
on Raw
is
because
100%.
he continues to just fucking put all you people over. So he's doing his shit. I wish they would do him a little better, but good match.
Not in terms of like, because they really haven't given Chad much screen time. He doesn't have as much charisma, but he literally wrestles like Kurt Angle. If you were to watch it,
His wrestling
they
is
could be like brothers. Like that's like the way they wrestle. It's interesting to see them. But I do think we're gonna see the split in Alpha Academy. And once that happens, and we'll talk about that later on because we got a little hint there. Once that happens, I think we'll get more of Chad Gable doing more of independent stuff, which will then be good for him in terms of his career. But speaking of careers, we have our next match, the one half of the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Iyo Sky, with Dakota Kai and Bayley, taking on Candice LeRae with Mia Yim. Here are some notes from this one. Iyo nails a face buster, and then Iyo dives onto Candice outside. Candice nails a German suplex off the top rope, and then hits a poison Rana and gets a 2. Candice nails double knees, distracts Candice LeRae, and Iyo Sky rolls up Candice to get the 3 count. Just another way to make Damage Control look dominant against the other women in the division. What did you think of this one? It was a decent match, though.
I thought it was a decent match. Yeah. There was a lot of chaos in this match. The numbers game helped. Obviously Damage Control. That I don't know what to say really because I don't find what's her face, Candice LeRae, too interesting. I mean, he's Gargano's wife. She's a good wrestler. I'm obviously very familiar with her NXT stuff. She doesn't really, do too much for me though. Neither does Iyo Sky. So for me personally, I thought the match was good, but I just wasn't interested personally. Just like the crowd wasn't. I don't think the crowd was interested in this match at all. Um, Triple H loves these two NXT girls, so he's just gonna keep booking them on TV. He doesn't care. No, I'm starting to notice a lot of favoritism on Triple H ever since he's taken over. It's better than Vince's product, don't get me wrong, but I really start to see the favoritism a little bit here. Iyo Sky took some rough bumps in the match. So Dakota Kai did, or not Dakota Kai. Holy fuck, Candice LeRae did do her thing, but um, this match doesn't do much for me. I don't really think it does anything. Um, we see Dakota and Iyo do a lot of single stuff when they currently have a tag team championship. So this is just weird. But the match was decent, but I'm just not interested in these two.
I feel like if there was a more of a storyline, it would be a bit more interesting. But because
Yeah, they're
it's
just
like they're thrown into fight. Well, this is interesting. The women's 2023 Royal Rumble winner, Rhea Ripley, comes out next. And Rhea says, 2 nights ago, I did the unthinkable, and now I get to choose whichever champion I want to face at WrestleMania. 3 years ago, I turned 24, and I came here and challenged Charlotte Flair to a match at WrestleMania, and she put me in my place. Charlotte Flair is at the top, but I'm the disruptor. I don't like things being overplayed. Charlotte Flair, I advise you enjoy everyone bowing and rising to the queen because after WrestleMania, they will rise to Rhea Ripley. Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania, I put you in your place. So Rhea makes her pick. She is challenging Charlotte Flair to a rematch. Here's my only problem with this. I have seen Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair live. I saw that the night SmackDown was at Madison Square Garden. It was a dark match before. That's not a WrestleMania worthy match to me. I'm sorry. If I've seen it And they've done it at Hell in a Cell. They've done it at Money in the Bank. They've done it at Mania. They did it at a Takeover. They've done it over and over and over again. Do Bianca versus Rhea. Do something different. Make Charlotte lose the title. I don't want to see another Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. I'm sure they'll have a good match, but this is WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. And I have a feeling we're not going to see this. I have a feeling we're going to see Rhea versus somebody else. But what do you think about Rhea Ripley challenging the Queen Charlotte Flair? And she wants to put her in her
Made some
place.
good points. I mean, we've seen this match numerous of times. Um, you gotta understand, and that was the only thing I'm gonna say about it. Because you did bring up some good points. The only thing I will add, they didn't have a crowd at WrestleMania 36. This was a little bit, um, not the beginning of Rhea's career, but the beginning of her coming up to the main roster. Um, so, but again, I agree. I don't think this is kind of a match I would like to see. Um, but I don't know if I'd like to see Rhea versus Bianca either. And I'll
Yeah.
tell you why. Um, Bianca to me, she has the looks and everything, but I don't think she's that good of a fucking performer. I'm keeping it a buck. I know everyone's gonna talk shit. I know everyone. She's so over. Even Jim Cornette loves her, but man, her promos are always so cringy. Every time I see her get a microphone in her hand, I just want to click. Like, I don't want to hear her do any. I don't think her promos are good. I just think she's a good face for the business right now. So that I don't know, and I feel like Rhea is more of a wrestler, of a better wrestler to me. Where I just think Rhea would just, if this wasn't scripted, Rhea would annihilate the shit out of Bianca Belair. Let's just be honest here. So I don't know, like that would be a match to me where it's just like, okay, if Bianca wins here, I don't care if anyone says that pro wrestling is fake because like Rhea will dominate this bitch. But Charlotte, no, I don't think Rhea can dominate Charlotte like that. So, but again, I don't want to see the match. So it's kind of, you got
Yeah.
to pick one, right? They're both, you have to pick one. So I would have picked Bianca just so we can see something new. So I do agree with you on that, yes. But other than that, nothing really much to say about this pro.
I mean, maybe they'll make it like a triple threat. Maybe I just honestly don't think you're doing WrestleMania Goes Hollywood and your Women's Royal Rumble winner picks someone that she fought like four times in the past year and a half. It's not like these two didn't fight; like they literally were fighting in 2021. So,
Hopefully they have a better plan for Bianca then.
yeah, we'll see. She was even, I don't even think she was barely even on this episode, but someone who was on this episode was Seth Rollins. He advances into the Elimination Chamber match, and Seth is backstage and he says, "What a win tonight. I'm going on to Elimination Chamber to take the U.S. title back, and then it's WrestleMania time." Kathy Kelly then asks Seth Rollins about his thoughts about being eliminated by Logan Paul from the Royal Rumble match, and Seth just leaves. We talked about this during the Royal Rumble predictions. It looks like we're probably going to get Seth versus Logan. It will probably be a killer match. But again, like Seth isn't happy being eliminated. I wouldn't be either. But is there anything you want to add here, or just like just sort of the same thing where
Nope, we just got to see what if Logan Paul decides to show up, and we'll see what goes from there. But I'm like I talked about it. I talked about it already. But it would be a banger match.
listen, banger after banger after banger. Okay, we have our next match, our next Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Baron Corbin with JBL taking on Johnny Gargano with Dexter Loomis. Gargano dives, but Corbin lands a punch onto Gargano. Johnny nails a slingshot DDT and gets a two. Corbin accidentally runs into the post. JBL looks to get involved, but Dexter Loomis has an axe and he cuts JBL's hat with the axe. And then Gargano rose up Corbin and gets a three. So now Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and Johnny Gargano are in this Elimination Chamber match. I asked you earlier about Seth being the right guy. Was Johnny the right guy to win this one?
Finally, yes, they've been booking him like shit since he's been back. They've been doing this whole Dexter Loomis, Miz bullshit. We're finally starting to see Gargano wrestle. Like, yeah, Gargano's the right man for this. I'm happy he's finally getting, he's not gonna win. Um, but he's having a pay-per-view match, Elimination Chamber, title match. I mean, finally, but it still sucks because they could do so much more with him and they're not. But yeah.
I agree. I'm excited to see Gargano in this one. We're going to talk quick about this before our first break. We have the VIP lounge with the WWE United States Champion Austin Theory with MVP. Theory says, wow, first of all, beyond the disrespect, thank you for the VIP lounge. When I was a little kid, I used to watch the VIP lounge. I'm here to make the VIP lounge and you relevant again. And then MVP says a classic. Stupid. Yeah, that was dumb. MVP says a classic never goes out of style. Theory says, do you think Bobby Lashley would beat me in a match? You're talking about Elimination Chamber. I was in the most grueling spot when Brock F5'd me off the chamber. He said, I'm the ruthlessness the new generation needs, but no aggression will stop me. We're gonna talk about that. MVP says, I'm putting
I didn't even realize that till now.
MVP says, I'm putting you on game. Bobby Lashley is dangerous. Austin Theory says, I've defeated him twice, and Bobby Lashley will not be in the Elimination Chamber match. Let's talk about things that aren't the past. Theory says, you should be worried about your health and Bobby Lashley's health. Bobby is your meal ticket. Who is going to get chewed up by Brock Lesnar down the line? Bobby Lashley walks out, and Lashley attacks Theory. MVP lifts up Theory with his cane, but Lashley accidentally spears MVP, and Theory walks out. You can give me your quick thoughts on this when we have some time. He's definitely sending messages to John Cena. The champ is here. The ruthlessness that this new generation needs, but no aggression will stop me. What do you think? Are we going to get Theory versus Cena at Mania? And again, Lashley is, it looks like Lashley's going after the U.S. title until Mania. What do you think?
Right. Yes. If Theory versus Cena happens, they're gonna have to drop the United States title for Theory because I don't think it makes sense to have him a title match because then it's gonna be way too predictable. So hopefully Lashley does get the title soon, but it should be cool. I hope we get Theory versus Cena. I hope.
And yeah, I mean, really nothing else from that. It's just basic, basic stuff. We have some more. We can talk more about this. Some more backstage segments. Finn Balor says, "I'm not hard to find. Edge. I work every Monday. The number 30 spot should have been mine. Cody has stolen from me for years, and now I'm going to get my vengeance." We'll then get a moment with the Miz in the ring, and the Miz says, "At the Royal Rumble, I got eliminated first. I demand to be included. I want an opportunity for, Raw." And then Adam Pearce says, "There's someone here who deserves an opportunity, and we are going to discuss that person when we come back after our first break. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with our Raw recap. We'll be back." And welcome back. I'm Ant, your longest reigning WWE pay-per-view champion of all time, defending my title at the next pay-per-view Elimination Chamber, coming to you live February 18th. Gonna kill it. And I'm joined by my co-host. Introduce yourself, sir.
Christian Mouse, co-host of the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast.
And a straight killer, bona fide stud, and a certified G, and you can't teach that.
No, you cannot. You can't teach that, and you can't teach my skills. So I'm happy to be here with you and continuing to talk about Monday Night Raw.
My skills. You have a lot of skills, my friend. Speaking of skills, The Miz says that he wants an opportunity. That's what we were talking about before the break. And someone comes out who wants an opportunity. Rick Boogs. He comes down, and basically Rick attacks The Miz while he's in his tuxedo. And The Miz's shoes fall off, and basically Boogs nails a power slam and gets a 3 count. Really nothing here, but, Rick Boogs is back. What do you think about Rick? Are you excited to see him back? That was my take on Rick Boogs. I think my friend had some technical difficulty. Oh, and he's back. Hello. I can't hear you, Mr. Morales. I see you. Here we go.
So,
hi.
He's kind of goofy. I mean, I don't know. He fought the Miz when he wasn't even. He was in a suit. It was stupid. They've been booking the Miz terrible. And the Miz should be. Look, last year, I don't even think the Miz had a WrestleMania match. Shouldn't have been with Logan Paul. He should be in a singles match. Have him have a good feud against somebody. Something. What they're doing with the
Yeah.
Miz sucks. There sucks. Even that whole
Yeah.
Dexter Loomis feud was stupid. They never got a match out of it.
Nope. Really stupid. Nothing happened. Uneventful. We get some more backstage segments. We see the Maximum Male Models and American Alpha walk, or I'm sorry, American Alpha, Alpha Academy walk by, and Maxine says it's perfect. I have a feeling that they're going to turn Otis into a model, and
Oh
we're going to
God.
see Chad Gable do his own thing. I could
Good.
totally see them doing that. That's why I mentioned earlier that Chad might be doing his own thing. Speaking of doing their own thing, Bayley comes out and Bayley goes, "Did you think I was going to leave the building without discussing what I did to Becky Lynch last week inside the steel cage?" Everyone is talking about how Damage Control took out Becky Lynch. We are dominant in the Royal Rumble match. My personal favorite moment was when in the Rumble was when I eliminated your man, Becky Lynch. This obsession Becky has with Damage Control is over now. And then Becky Lynch comes out and Becky says, "You're a stupid fool. We're not done until the man says so. I didn't need to win the Royal Rumble this year. I need to make sure you and your girls didn't win. You do whatever you can to avoid going one-on-one with me because you know I'm better than you." Bailey says, "I'm smart. You don't tell me what to do. I know you. I don't like you, Rebecca. I think you're overrated. You're not good enough. You're not even good enough for your husband, Seth Rollins. The only
Uh-oh.
reason he married you is because he knocked you up."
Yikes. You
Becky
don't talk
then
about the
says,
man's
"After
man.
all this time, I thought we were fighting over wrestling. This all started 10 years ago in Orlando in NXT. You give me that steel cage match once and for all, so we can end this." And then Bailey's like, "No, I've already fought you." And Becky's like, "I thought you'd say no." So then Becky comes out and she drags Dakota Kai out with her. Dakota's knee is in a chair, and basically Becky threatens to stomp on it unless Bailey accepts. Bailey says, "I accept." Becky says, "Next week you can bring your friends with you. But before you do that, I check on Iyo Sky backstage." So an explosive promo from Becky Lynch and Bayley. A lot of like heat from Bayley saying that Seth is only with Becky because he knocked her up. I'm excited for the steel cage match next week. We're finally gonna see it. What do you think?
Um, this match, this isn't the end. This is bullshit. We're gonna get this match at Mania. Um, this is one of the matches at Mania that have been good building up. This story's been technically the story's been, going on since SummerSlam, but Becky was hurt, made a return. So I think this is a good story. And I hope we do see this match at Mania. But I am excited for the Steel Cage match. We were supposed to get that at the 30th anniversary, and ended up getting cut because the tribal segment took way too long. So, or the tribal court thing took way too long. So happy we're finally getting it. Two of the best talents on Raw. So let's see.
100. These two women are going to tear the fucking house down. I'm glad they're going to finally get that opportunity to do that. We then see Adam Pearce backstage, and he says, "We will find out at Elimination Chamber who will take on Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. 6 women will be fighting for the opportunity." Chelsea Green shows up and acts like a Karen pretty much. And she says, "Why don't I have my own dressing room? Why don't I have Swiss chocolate?" Chelsea Green is going to do great in this gimmick, I think, because she's very funny. But yeah, I mean, we now know that the Elimination Chamber match, we found out that already in the match is going to be Nikki Cross, Asuka, Liv Morgan, and Raquel Rodriguez. Or I'm sorry, yeah, because those 3 were like the final 4 in the Royal Rumble match, I guess. So interesting stuff here. Good to see Chelsea Green. I'll move on to our next match. It's our next Elimination Chamber qualifying match. Dolph Ziggler taking on Bronson Reed. We get some more stuff backstage with Mustafa Ali interrupting Ziggler and just basically shit talking him and basically saying that Dolph continues to have these opportunities. The match starts and Dolph nails a DDT, hits a zigzag and gets a 2. Reed gets the win with a flying splash, and now the behemoth Bronson Reed is in the men's elimination chamber match. What do you think is going on though with Ali and Ziggler? This is a random storyline happening here. What do you think? And I think he might be back in session. Can he? Here we go. Wait,
There we go. 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 Okay. We're talking about
Dolph Ziggler and Mustafa
Dolph Ziggler and
Ali,
Bronson
how
Reed.
and Ali sort of just pretty much, we know Reed won the match, but like, what do you think about the storyline of Ali sort of just constantly confronting Ziggler, trying to get in his head?
Ziggler is one of again. I keep saying these about a lot of these guys, but this is how it is. This is how I see it. Dolph Ziggler is a veteran who's been there for so long, and they're putting him in these stupid matches and stupid segments. I'm not discrediting Mustafa Ali and anything. I think he's good. You know, he ever since he had his little time in SmackDown, like 2018, around that time, but he went heelish. Ever since then, man, he's just fucking boring. I don't know. I kind of liked him better when he was a cruiserweight. He doesn't get to my attention. Bronson Reed, on the other hand, he's fucking dominant though. He looks impressive. I think he has a real chance on
Yeah, he's going to be
winning it
doing
all.
some crazy moves in that
Yeah, dude,
Elimination Chamber
he's
match.
a big man who can fly. He's fucking good. I'm impressed with Bronson Reed so far since he's been up.
So then we see a returning Carmella backstage, and Carmella says, "I am the princess of Staten Island, and I will win because Mella is money." And Asuka shows up and stares at Carmella as blue like mist starts to pour from her mouth. So just good to see Carmella back on TV. You know, she's been gone for a little bit. We then get another segment where Rick Boogs is backstage, and basically, I have a feeling we're gonna get a Symphony of Destruction, Elias versus Rick Boogs at WrestleMania. Because
Jesus,
it looks like
I would click through that. I would not watch it.
we have like two rockers not really getting along. We find out that next week Montez Ford will fight Elias for a shot in the Elimination Chamber match. And then we get our main event, which is an amazing, I thought, a great match. Finn Balor with Judgment Day taking on Cody Rhodes. Here are some notes. Balor stomps Cody's chest and nails a running kick and gets a 2. Cody nails a disaster kick to the outside and dives onto Balor. Rhodes nails a power slam and gets a 2. Balor hits an inverted DDT and gets a 2 count. Cody nails a Cody cutter and gets a 2 as well. Balor hits a sling blade and Cody nails a super kick, another 2 count for Cody. Balor kicks Rhodes outside near Judgment Day. Edge runs in from the crowd and attacks Judgment Day members. He spears Dominic, he being Edge. Rhea Ripley then attacks Edge from behind, and then Beth Phoenix shows up and even things up for her husband and spears Rhea Ripley. Balor nails a double stomp to Rhodes and a shotgun drop kick. Balor climbs, but Edge gets on the apron and distracts Balor. Rhodes moves before Balor can nail the coup de grace, and Rhodes nails 3 crossroads, and Cody gets the win. He defeats Balor. After the match, Cody salutes Edge. And great match between two great athletes, but I have a feeling we're going to get Edge versus Balor at Mania. I'm excited about that because I feel like they're going to tear the roof down. But what did you think about this main event? And then what was you could end it by telling me your moment of the night for this episode of Raw.
So, though the main event was good, we're seeing Cody Rhodes back in the singles action, which is always good. I think Finn Balor puts on fucking incredible matches no matter who he goes against. Excuse me. Him and Edge at Mania. Yeah. Story purposes, I would like to see that, but I don't want to say that Finn Balor isn't somebody I could see Edge fighting because Edge is a little older now. But I don't know. I kind of wish we saw something else with Edge, just because it's Edge. Like for example, when he had his whole Randy Orton thing going on, uh, I just like it sucks, but I would like to see him fight maybe like John Cena at WrestleMania. But I get it. A lot of these guys are fighting the younger guys. Um, but it was a good main event. Good match. I love seeing these guys perform. I'm excited. Uh, we keep saying predicting the matches and matches, and we're just gonna have to wait to see if they're true. But
Yep.
so far, they've since the first Raw. This is the first Raw after the Royal Rumble. Now I'm starting to finally see them starting to pick up a little bit. On terms of where the storylines, where these matches, how it's gonna play out. Um, right now, I think the only storyline that they're doing a good job with is obviously the bloodline, but uh Bayley versus Becky. I think that's a storyline that's been the best one so far. A lot of these other storylines really either are repeated or don't make sense. Um, some of them both. So we'll see how it goes. But my moment of the night would have to be, I'm gonna say Gargano winning a singles match just
Oh,
because
interesting.
just because I'm I'm biased. And I was talking to this guy at the show I went to when Gargano was there, um, the Monday Night Raw on November 7th. And, you know, he's been booked like shit, like I said earlier. So he's getting a singles match and finally getting an opportunity. And I'm biased. I love the guy. I loved him in NXT. Him and Adam Cole are my two favorites.
Hmm.
So that was my moment of the night.
I agree. To go back to talking about Edge, I have a feeling at Elimination Chamber we're gonna get an Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Dominic and Rhea, or Finn and Rhea. That I feel like that's gonna happen. Beth has been coming involved too much all the time for her not to get involved in a
Right.
match. But for me, my moment of the night, I'm going to be basic, was the whole confrontation between Becky Lynch and Bayley. That got me so excited for this upcoming episode of Raw. Anytime we talk about personal stuff is a big win for me. Uh, yeah, my man, we are on the road to WrestleMania.
I'm
Our
so happy.
second stop
WrestleMania's.
is Elimination Chamber, and then we are headed full on. Christian, thank you for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Our next little stop along the way with our podcast, we're going to be covering SmackDown. We got AEW Dynamite, dude, killer episode. Not Brian Danielson, John Moxley and Adam Page, Samoa Joe and Darby Allin, a lot to cover there. And yeah, my friend, we're killing it. Do you have any last words?
No, man, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's always a good time. I'm excited to. Sorry, I thought I had a cough and then I didn't. Always a good time doing recaps. I'm biased, so I'm gonna just say this. I'm excited to cover SmackDown and everything, but be on the lookout for Dynamite.
It's gonna be killer.
We've talked a lot. This is mainly WWE, so we only cover Dynamite once a week, or AEW. So I just want to say real quick, let's AEW's been great this so far in 2023. So make sure you guys go check it out, man. And if you're not familiar with it, go check it out. Revolution's coming up here.
Mhm.
I finally think we have some good talent. The right people are in the locker rooms now. So go check out some All Elite Wrestling too if you're a wrestling fan.
Definitely, man. All Elite Wrestling is the bomb, and there's some people who are legit just All Elite Wrestling fans and don't want to watch WWE. That's totally
Which is
cool.
fine. And
Mhm.
if you just like WWE and don't want to watch AEW, that's fine.
Mhm.
But you know, I feel like if you just like you look, you're gonna know a lot of these guys are fucking ex WWE wrestlers. Like it's not a secret. Like you're gonna know who they
Mhm.
are. Like
Mhm.
it's just a matter of fact if you know who like the Kenny Omegas, the Young Bucks, Jungle Boy guys haven't been WWE. But if you enjoy good pro wrestling, that's a little more not PG, check out AEW and
Definitely check it
check
out.
out the recaps coming by me soon.
Check out Christian's recap, man. He kills it. He's like the fucking captain of the ship. And there's been a lot happening on AEW, so I'm excited for Christian to kill that. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a lot more to cover. Stay tuned, stay safe, and stay uncensored. Peace,
Hell
y'all.
yeah.
Bye.